Hey, this is Jason Shatner, aka Wolffoetowtech. And this is a nice sheet, and this is a cat. His name is Orange. And let me explain this really quickly. FYI, my birthday was recent. It was January 1st, same as Jim Sterling. But these are the recent games I have acquired. Oh, say the past December. And I've not played any of these games because I have a huge backlog of video games to play. Belching. But I have experience with these franchises, Mr. Orange. If you want to learn more about Mr. Orange, you can go to the Jason Shatner channel. It'll be in the sidebar on my main on my profile page, or the main page of my channel, of this channel. And let's start with one game here. I've played this franchise ever since I was a little kid. The first game I ever purchased just with the money I actually saved myself was one of these games from this franchise. And this is Kirby's Epic Yarn. Sorry about the glare. Fix the glare. And this is a wonderful game. I picked this up at GameStop for 17 bucks. I've always been a big fan of Kirby. I haven't played too many of the newer Kirby games over the past few years, but the very first Kirby game I ever purchased with my own money that I got from my birthday was Kirby's Adventure for the NES, and I maxed out that game and I played that game inside out constantly. I've always had a special spot for Kirby and Mega Man and Mario and Zelda. But at some point I will get around to playing this game. And yeah. Wow. This will be a nice warm-up for Yoshi's Epic Yarn. Epic Yarn. Yoshi's Woolly World. Ha 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 ha. I renamed the Yoshi game. And as I said, I've been a fan of little Kirby forever. I used to watch the show. And keep in mind, I'm 33 years old now, and I watched Kirby right back at you every Saturday morning, as much as you don't see manuals this thick anymore. That's what I love about Nintendo. They're one of the last companies that does nice big thick manuals. But I picked this up at GameStop, and I think I happened to renew my my membership at that time. Now, people give GameStop so much crap. The vast majority of GameStops I've ever hung out at, and trust me, I hung out at GameStop a lot, are usually always very nice to me and very good to me, with the exception of one employee. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I was even good friends with some of the managers. And the next game I actually did play quite a ways through, did play a lot of the first one in this particular series, but I didn't get all the way through it because I have too many damn games to play, and I'm an epic grinder. I'm a grinder. That's it. I grind. I try to get perfect scores in everything. Try to find all the epic loot in the game, and that just simply results in me playing a game for 4 or 5 months, and in that time I've purchased another 8 games, so I have more games than I have time to play. Even if I quit my day job, which, by the way, I work at a recycling center, specializing in metals. Even if I did that, and just did this all the time, I would still not have enough time to play all the video games the way I play them. But this is the game right here. I love the crap out of the first one. I enjoyed a whole ton of it, but I never got very far. I didn't get all the way through it. I got more than halfway, and then I got onto something else, and I completely forgot what I jumped off onto. But I purchased this for $26.99. Nintendo games keep their value better than any other company's games. Seriously. If you want to invest in video games, Nintendo games are the way to go. And yet again, this is also another really good one. People want Super Mario Galaxy 3, and I can't blame them. It's a really good sub-franchise is of the main Mario family of games. But yeah, and yeah, people complain. You know, it's the 3D Mario games that are the really cool ones, but the 2D Mario games sell the best. Well, the 2D Mario games, you can hand those to a little kid and or old people, and they can get the concept of it quite well. And they get the idea. It's simple run from left to right, with a few other things thrown in. It doesn't get more difficult than that. Of course, I've seen kids who literally cannot comprehend there's Orange again, the back of his head, getting a chair. Make this easier. Cannot comprehend and old-fashioned video games, and I grew up on the NES. I was a latecomer to the NES, but I grew up on it. And here's the next game I've acquired, and in December. And you're gonna laugh at me, but I don't care. I picked up Metroid Other M for $8.99. And at some point I will play this, and I will enjoy it, because I don't care. You can be cynical jerks. And by the way, Metroid Other M is in line with the story arc set forth from the manga in Japan. Yeah. So it actually is canonical. So there. Ha ha ha. I also got this game, and this is the very first game I ever purchased in this franchise. Everyone says this is the game that made this franchise become a big thing here in the bigger thing than a super niche franchise here in the United States. But here is Monster Hunter 3 Try. And I think I purchased this for $3. It's also compatible with WeSpeak. So you have group chat. If you had online, which is no longer available due to GameSpy going out of business. Yes, that's the company that used to run Nintendo's Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, Wi-Fi network was GameSpy. And I don't know the story behind why GameSpy went out of business. I just saw a lot of different companies utilize GameSpy on the back. I think they just simply didn't pay enough of their bills. And I might give this a fun try. And here is... The case is really stiff. Wow. This one was not played much, which is funny. This is the one that put this franchise on the map here in the United States. Monster Hunter 3 Try. Yeah, sorry about my bad lighting. I don't have a budget. And I played the game just prior to this one in this series. I also played the original version, the original game from the NES. There's also a new version of the original game on the virtual eShop. But here's this game, Excite Bots Trick Racing, and I purchased this one for $1.79. And the game before this one was Excite Trucks, and this game is developed by Monster Games. Or something like that. I have to. Yeah, Monster Games right there. There's my Monster logo. And I do believe Monster Games is the team that went on to start doing Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8. So that's why we do not see any more Excite 8 series video games, is because they just, they went from this to Mario Kart 7 and 8. And I think they did Mario Kart Wii. They were the team that did a lot of the work. And I can't blame them. Blame Nintendo for using them because they're pretty good. I did play a lot of Excite Truck, and that was fun. I have yet to play this game, and I might do, as I said, I might do some retro reviews of these games at a later point in the future, just so you know whether they're good or not. I'll tell you how I feel about them, and you can decide whether my opinion on video games matches up with your tastes in gaming, and whether whether I'm a good picker of games for you. But the reason why I picked, always loved Kirby, always loved Mario, never was big into Metroid, but I like collecting games, and I know this someday will be hard to get. Always enjoyed collecting and customization of weapons and all kinds of stuff, so I'll go into that. I've always enjoyed racing games. I put an insane amount of hours into Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. I have game files for the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 for all my Gran Turismo and Armored Core games Gran Turismo and Armored Core games that have ridiculous number of hours on the files and numbers of races completed and money earned, and your brain would just explode from seeing my 999 in sortie Armored Core PlayStation 1 and save files. And I also had over 999 missions completed in Armored Core 3. I also had like probably north of 500 in Armored Core 2 for the PS2. But this is a game. The next game I'm going to pull out and show is actually from a very popular franchise that people really love, and a lot of people point back to this and the game before this in the story arc or in this sub-series of this franchise as the two of the best games in the good chunk of the entire franchise. This is like the early high point. Then there was like a few more in this franchise that were really good on other systems. And then it kind of started to go slightly downhill, but a lot of people are still delusional about that. But I'm not 100% sure on that. That's just general opinion about this franchise in general. And here I got it. Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of a New World. I also have the first one, Tales of Symphonia. And I'll play that at someday, and I'll play this someday. And I picked this one up for $8.99 at GameStop. Notice I do a lot of shopping at GameStop. I also do a lot of shopping at Best Buy, Toys R Us, and Walmart. I'm going to play this at some point in the future. I just don't know when. And just to change it up, this, believe it or not, I did not get for myself, but I certainly do enjoy this franchise. My brother picked it up for me. Guess what system is it for? Come on, guess. I won't. You're not gonna get it. I'll just show you. Far Cry 4. I platinumed this game, Far Cry 3, on the PlayStation 3. So this will be fun as heck. I also haven't played through all the way through Far Cry 2, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that at some point. And I'll do a review of all those games. In fact, at some point, I'm gonna try to regularize reviews for video games. It's mostly going to be retro. I have an NES, I have a Super NES, I have an N64, I got all the major Nintendo systems, I got a Virtual Boy, I got a Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, a Nintendo DS, a Nintendo 3DS. I have a Sega Master System. I have a Sega Genesis. I have multiple Sega systems. I have multiple PlayStation systems. Obviously, I only have two Xbox systems, the original Xbox and Xbox 360. I have a PS Vita. I have a PSP. I'm gonna do a lot of those, and I'm gonna show you all. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna do some video game reviews. And sorry about me stuttering, but this has no script whatsoever. I'm just going off the top of my head, and that's just how it is. Say hi to Mr. Orange. Mr. Orange is handsome. He's really handsome. He has a ton of personality. So those... One of these games is not like the other. One of these games is not like the other. Of course, the funny thing is, just before this, I think in November... November... I also picked up a whole bunch of 3DS games, other Wii games, and a bunch of PS3 and Xbox 360 games too. And I also think I picked up some NES games and a few other things like that at other places. But I'm going to try to make this a regular series. In a month, I'm going to do this is what I got this month. And this is what I thought. This is my history with the franchise. This is what I know of this game, whether I played it or not, which sadly most of the time is not going to be the case because I usually buy a lot of games and then I'm still playing other older games that I haven't beaten all the way. I like to 100%. I'm a 100%er. I'm a 100%er with the problem of the fact that I have preferred franchises, which I will draw my attention to and then hope eventually to get back to the other franchises I ever got to. I've played with the first time around. Sorry about that. It's just all muddly. But I'm going to try to, hey, this is what I just got this month. This is my history, and as I said before, all the other stuff. And you can kind of get a feeling of what kind of systems. Well, this is heavy on the Wii. I buy a lot of Wii. I also buy a lot of PS3 and occasional Xbox 360, and I will pick up a lot of DS and 3DS games. And then I'll go to flea markets and pick up NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, Atari, all kinds of stuff. I have a ridiculous Atari collection. Very few there are YouTubers with amazing collections like Alpha Omega Sin and Mark from Classic Game Room and Pat from NES Punk. And those guys are of the minority that have collections that are bigger than mine. I have a ridiculously large collections. And I'll come next. This is what I got for December, which is rather small. I think I left out a few games. Yeah, I did. But starting from this point on, whenever I get a whole bunch of games from a month, I'm gonna do a quick video like this, which is already 20 plus minutes, and talk about the games a little bit and what I know, and whether I played them or not, or the previous games. And have a wonderful day and an awesome week. And don't forget to vote, very important. Comment, which is really nice. Share and subscribe. The voting is very important. I really want to know whether you like my videos or not, whether it's up or down. Go for it. Please leave a comment with any advice or any other details you want to know, and your level of interest in a particular subject. I'm not particularly picky, although, Kirby looks... I had to really put Kirby on my list of things to do. Right now I have a ton of hours at work, and I just don't have the time and energy to play through a bunch of games. But in a few weeks I'll get a few hours off from work and I'll binge several games. I might even upload a video of me playing a game and show off some of my stuff. So have a wonderful day. See you again and when I upload again.